Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first story, about OP's identical twin sister, who was pretending to be OP and ruining OP's life. Enjoy the stories, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. My sister and I are identical twins. When the doctor said we were going to be identical, our parents instantly decided it would be cute to give us very similar names. She's Lena, and I'm Lana, one letter apart. We are, however, very different people. Lena is a compulsive liar and B. In school, if she got a bad grade on an assignment, she would scratch out the E in her name and change it to another A. Then, she'd tell the teacher that she got my assignment back and would make me change the name on my own paper. When she was B people, she would call herself by my name, thus making them blame me for it. I finally got an out after high school, when Lena decided to move out west. I stayed in our hometown, not a small town, a rather large city. However, my problems persisted. When I tried to add people from high school on Facebook, they would block me, or send me messages about what a horrible human being I was. If I clarified, they would accuse me of lying, and go on. The only reason I know that this is Lena's fault is because she openly admitted to it. My family is very close-knit, so I struggled to get away from her entirely. A while ago, over a holiday, Lena came back. My boyfriend and I had been dating for several months, and I was excited for him to meet my family. After lunch, he took a nap, and I went to take my parents' dog for a walk. When he woke up, Lena started flirting with him, and they ended up having S, because he thought that it was me. I was upset when he told me. He figured out the moment I stepped inside, and we ended up breaking up because he thought Lena was better at S than I was. I dated a man from my high school afterwards, and he kept confusing me with Lena, who be him. He would cry when we had S, and if we fought, he'd physically flinch and cower, even if I was across the room. We broke up for his own good. Things are getting out of hand. People from my high school have been posting about me on Facebook, saying that my attempts to contact them are harassment and A. My own parents are buying into the rumors, and my old peers' parents are calling them, asking why I would hurt their children so badly. I've gotten hateful messages from people I barely know. This double act that Lena is leading is killing me. I've dyed and cut my hair before, but she gets the same color and style. She pretends like it's just coincidence, but I know the awful truth. I'm considering getting plastic surgery. I hate this so much. As though she exists to make my life miserable. How can I say that enough is enough? What can I do to make it stop? I enjoyed high school. I loved the people I went with, but they all hate me. Even when I go out of that circle, she somehow ruins it. There's going to be plenty of people calling me a troll or unrealistic, but I'm genuinely seeking out help. OP needs to disappear and leave her old life behind. I'm serious. Her family isn't protecting her, and they're buying her nonsense. Someone this deranged and obsessed isn't ever going to stop unless she's gone. The only way out for OP is ghosting. My 27 female boyfriend, 30 male, just told me he found his ex more attractive than me. We've been together for a year, and lately have been having some issues, and it felt like his S-drive had tanked a little. I felt bad about myself. He was often acting selfish or dismissive, but I love him, so I really made an effort to show him I care. We live together, and I work 12-hour days for no pay at the moment at a hospital, trying to better my chances to getting a residency in our city. I graduated from med school last December, because he doesn't want to move. Since I'm not getting paid at the moment, probably for another 3 months. I already have a job offer in research in September, but won't be able to start until then, because that's when the position opens up, and also, I'm already working 12 hours every day already. He agreed that he'd pick up most of the bills, and I'd contribute as much as I can to groceries, and generally clean up around the house. That was the deal. Now I get home around 7 every night, and I do pick up, and do laundry and such. I try to stay on top of it, but it's not as easy as when I was just studying. I just don't have enough time to do everything. He's been kind of annoyed with me for that. I also have been kind of not eating as healthy as I used to, found much time to work out. So right now, I am what you would probably call skinny fat. I'm 5 foot 6 inches and roughly 128 pounds probably. So I'm just not as toned as I used to be. I also used to have an eating disorder that he knows about, that I've overcome in the last years. Honestly, I was actually pretty happy with my body. I have a classic hourglass body, neat, tiny waist, nice boobs and hips. A few tattoos, red hair, blue eyes. Think girls. Though, of course, I don't think I'm as pretty as those girls. On a good day, I've been called the poor man's Emma Stone. I see guys looking at me in the street. I know I'm not terribly ugly. Today, though, he had a moment of being unsure about us, and suddenly went, I can't lie to you anymore. I've been telling you you're the prettiest girl I've ever been with, and it's just not true. And then told me that his most recent ex was just much more beautiful, because she was of Finnish descent, and athletic and tall, and I was just ever so slightly not toned. Also, her face was prettier, though apparently I do have nicer boobs and smile more often. Which, duh, she put him through hell. I'm not surprised she didn't smile much. He's also apparently bothered that even though I've lost some muscle tone, he sometimes sees me snack. I don't eat candy, except for gummy bears. Your girl here loves gummy bears. I never would have allowed myself to eat them a few years ago, and I've honestly enjoyed finding a few foods I love these past few years. My relationship with food has been so much healthier. I don't eat a whole bag, just maybe 5 or 6 gummy worms every other night. It just crushed me. I've struggled to have a positive body image for so long, and now I feel nothing but disgust when I look at myself. I don't want to eat anymore. I'm so afraid that I've become ugly without noticing it. He also said his ex barely wore makeup because she just didn't need to. She was basically a model. I'm sorry, but I do look nicer with makeup on. I know this must sound incredibly pathetic, but I'm just so sad. He also said his S drive has been bad because he's been thinking he'd rather have S with insert random movie star or his ex. This was all a couple of days ago, and since then he said he really didn't mean that. And that he only ever said that way. And that he only ever felt that way after we'd had a fight, and his feelings for me weren't there as much, and that the rest of the time he thinks I'm the most beautiful girl. What do I do? How do you get over this? I can't look in the mirror anymore because I'm so disgusting. My arms aren't super toned. I have some cellulite, and my thighs are too thick. I never thought I was pretty. I grew up with a mom that told me that, oh well, at least you have a handsome face. And, well, you do clean up nicely. No one would think that. And encouraged me to get plastic surgery, European mother, and lose weight. I know there's more important issues, but damn. I dated an actual model in the past, and I have eyes, and no other people are attractive, and still my boyfriend is the most handsome in my eyes, because I love him, and that gives him 100 points on anyone else in my eyes. Also, I have never even thought about sleeping with other people, and definitely not my exes while I was with him. His comments are intentionally cruel. The way he just decided he needed to tell OP his ex was more beautiful. Going into specific details about why is just not normal. That's not helpful to their relationship, OP's self-esteem, or anything else. The only thing it did was maybe make him feel better by putting OP down. I'm alarmed that he would even make such a comment, but especially knowing OP's history of having an eating disorder. His comments about how he'd rather sleep with a celebrity over OP are just as deliberately cruel. OP is not the one with an issue here. He is. This guy is an a-hole, and it seems things are turning towards toxic, manipulative A. OP needs to recognize that she is worth more than how this a-hole treats her. OP needs to leave him as soon as possible. I grew up in a lower middle-class family. Overall, I had 2 big insecurities about myself. Mainly my nose and some really stubborn fat deposits on my breasts. Besides that, I was pretty attractive. It was that these physical features held me back. And I lived with my perceived flaws for many years. However, after graduating college, I ended up getting a great job with a prestigious company, and with salary, stock options, and bonus, I make comfortably over $250K a year now. I have thought a lot about plastic surgery, and I decided to get these things done. And honestly, it has improved my life for the better. I look in the mirror, and I am a lot happier. People noticeably treat me better. I get a lot of matches on Tinder. Just going out in a bar, I have groups of women approach me. And frankly, it was probably the best money I have ever spent. However, since then, I have gotten a lot of criticism from my family. My family views it as, especially the nose, that I was unhappy with the genes I got from them. That I am too good for them. I don't know what to say really. My sisters have both complained about their noses too, and would used to talk about getting nose jobs all the time. But now that I am the one who went out and did it, now I am considered the shameful vain one. My dad called me AF because he thinks plastic surgery is just for women. With my friends, I guess there is a jealousy when it comes to the women I date now. Since getting better looking and having a nice car, it has been really easy for me to date really attractive women. I do not flaunt it at all. I feel as if my old female friends are the ones that really are pissed off by it. Because in my group, I used to be known as the guy that was perpetually friend-zoned. And now, I am not that guy anymore. I have had my old female friends invite me on dates before, and I have politely declined. However, now they are using it as, oh, he is too good for us. The mentality is so frustrating. I don't know what to do. If we follow this logic, were they too good for me when they friend-zoned me? I have tried to help and uplift my friends, have showed them courses they can do, and I could pull them into jobs that pay a lot more than they do. Yet, this has just led to me being talked about behind my back. I am not sure what exactly I can do at this point. I guess the thing which has led to this is that I have kept the same group of friends since college, while a lot of my peers at work generally either come from affluent backgrounds or have made new friends while working. What can I do to be better liked by my friends and family? There are two options that I see here. One is that all the new attention and increased confidence has gone to OP's head a bit, and he's acting differently around his friends. Especially if he didn't have much luck with women before. He could be subconsciously compensating now. The other option is that he was the scapegoat of the friend group. He was the one they used to use to make themselves feel better, because they could also feel superior. Looks, girls, whatever the reason. Now, instead of being the ugly duckling who made them look better, he is stealing all the attention and having a great life that they are jealous of. If this is the case, OP needs new friends. They never liked OP for him in the first place. I feel like this might be the case, because it lines up well with all the things he did to help them. They were using his low self-esteem to take advantage of him. I am not the most good-looking person, not by a long shot. I am short and stubby, and even with makeup and a beautician working on me, it's hard to describe me as pretty. Mostly the opposite. I have always known this. It's something I've basically accepted at this point. One day, maybe I will get plastic surgery or something. I know, you guys are going to write, you need more self-esteem, but I have plenty of that. But having self-esteem doesn't mean lying to yourself or making unrealistic conclusions about your looks. People have told me that I look like a female Indian version of Steve Buscemi. That should give you an idea. When I first started dating Alex, he was pretty fat, but we still loved each other a lot. It's been 3 years, and in the past 6 to 7 months, he has dropped a lot of weight, and even gained quite a bit of muscle. Looks-wise, he got much better. He was hiding a jawline made of steel under all the face fat that he had. Sometimes people are shocked to find out we are dating. Anyways, Alex was downstairs with his friend, and he thought I was upstairs sleeping, but I was actually briefly listening in on their conversation. His friend said basically that he could be dating models and hot girls, and instead, he stuck with me. And my boyfriend got upset at that, and said basically, I don't care that she looks bad or has a weird face. I still love her a lot, and I don't like you saying that I should date other people. But he still basically said, multiple times, that I look bad. The quote I gave was just a brief summary. They had a back and forth argument about this for like 10 minutes. So now I have two problems. I had no idea his friend, who I've known for months, thought of me that way. I also had no idea my boyfriend thought I was ugly. I mean, he still defended me, and maybe I should be more realistic here in terms of that aspect. It's difficult to not think that when you see me, but still, it does hurt to hear it from him. I can't tell my boyfriend that I don't want his friend around unless I also tell him that I overheard his conversation with him, in which my boyfriend will know that he described me as ugly and having a weird face. I can take that, to an extent, but something about him knowing I overheard it makes this so much worse. He has always said I am pretty and that he finds me beautiful, and even though I know it's mostly him trying to boost my ego or be romantic, I would hate for him to think I now think he was lying every time he said that. I mean, I knew he was, but I don't want him to know that. But I also don't want his a-hole friend around either. What he said was gross and disgusting. I had no idea he had such disdain for me. What do I do? Perhaps OP is not conventionally pretty, but loving someone makes them beautiful to you in the same way an ugly personality makes a good-looking person start looking ugly. I'm sure OP's boyfriend finds OP beautiful, and OP has nothing to worry about there. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Personally, I think OP should talk to her boyfriend because it's clearly eating away at her. If they're solid, they should be able to openly talk about their emotions. Plus, now that she knows the friend doesn't respect the relationship, it's going to be tense to be around him and act as if everything is fine. I think it's better to talk. But I also understand why OP doesn't want her boyfriend to know that he called her ugly, and think that she thinks he's lying when he tells her she's beautiful.